drink it. This is Alan Bordius, host of Their Finest Hour, Monday nights here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Hi, this is Missy Bordius. Join me as I share my womanly bits on the Conservative Feminist Show, 11 p.m. on Fridays, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best in political commentary from the right-wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Chuck Dixon, the co-creator of Bane, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
To the show. This is The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. This is your co-host, Michael Hausum from Southern California. Hey, Miller, I know we've got a bunch of other things to talk about, but something came across my computer screen this morning that's really causing me to rock my world a bit. And I don't know if you saw it. This was an article in Maclean's about the new eco-villain that's encroaching across the planet. Have you seen this?
I did not, but I just opened the link you just sent me.
All right, so it's about, these K-Cups, the Keurig coffee makers, where they brew, it's a little pod that brews individual cups of coffee. Did you know that roughly 12% of American households have one of these things?
You know what, dude? It's a cult thing. We have one, by the way. And for anyone that drinks coffee, 2, 3, whatever cups a morning, it would be completely non-economical because those things are expensive. So yeah, but yes, there's kind of a Keurig cult, if you will.
Yeah, in fact, I bought Danny a Keurig maker, I don't know, at the end of last summer because the poor thing was having instant coffee and I couldn't stand the thought of it. And Costco sells all different kinds of these K-Cup Keurig capsules in bulk. So you don't have to go into like Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf and play, $20 a piece or something. Yeah. So she's been enjoying that. I had some coffee with her Monday morning from her Keurig thing, and it was great. No idea, man, that the number of discarded K-Cups since these things have been invented could circle the globe almost 11 times. 8.3 billion just in 2013 alone.
And it's a racket too. I mean, this picture is kind of funny. This picture on this link, the dude is sitting there with kind of one eye mostly open, and he's surrounded by these empty K cups up to his almost up to his shoulders, his elbows. So you know what? Didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, here's the thing. At the very end, there's a company that's come up with this new way to recycle these, which obviously makes me feel better that somebody's addressing this all important issue.
Well, sure.
And the president of the company, the CEO, identified coffee pods at the top end of the guilt hierarchy.
Wow.
You know, I it's kind of a funny topic, obviously, but in terms of world problems, the number of discarded K-cup pods, to me anyway, just to me, it doesn't rank highly.
Yeah, well, that just proves that you hate the environment and the planet. I think that what we need to do, we could, we could talk about this in one of our board meetings because we got a lot on our plate.
Well, I don't know.
But listen, dude, this might be an opportunity here, and I don't know if we would actually, employ a fleet of vans, but instead of having people, throw these K cups into their normal recycling bin, I think this is something that would make, like I said, it's a bit of a cult. The Keurig people are a bit of a cult. We could make them feel special if we made the effort to personally, not us drive, because we'd have a bunch of drivers, but
it
make
would
them feel
like a pedicab type of thing.
Yeah, and exactly. But just how special would they feel? You could even have a special recycling bin that would look like a big K cup, and they could just put those in there. And we would pick it up on a different day than the regular recycle guys pick up because we wouldn't want to have them come out and horrifically realize in the morning that in addition to their regular recycling stuff that those guys also emptied their large K cup recycle bin. I think we could do some specialization here. Again, maybe this is something we need to noodle on and bring up in our next board meeting.
Well, it's just, just in terms of how it's impacted me personally, obviously me getting her that machine was well intended, done out of, love. But she's like, I can't believe what you've forced me to participate in. And she's kind of reevaluating the whole thing.
I think it's done out of blind selfishness.
Speaking of recycling, have you ever seen that Penn and Teller YouTube of the recycling punking that they did, showing how ridiculous it is?
I haven't. I would like to, but
oh my gosh. Okay, so it's absolutely funny. So it's a punked deal, and they have which is the little one? Teller's the little one, right?
Yeah, that's Teller. Penn Jillette is the big.
Penn Jillette's the big guy, right?
Yeah.
Full-on libertarian. They're awesome. Anyway, so they're in some development. And some tract of homes, they go up to it and they're like, "Hey, we're from," and they identify themselves as part of the city, whatever. And we're exploring this new recycling program, but we need to do some testing just to determine whether or not this is actually going to work. Because what we're finding is that people are not sufficiently separating their recyclables, and we're trying to expand the program. Would you be interested in this kind of pilot test? Mm-hmm. And the people are like, "Oh yeah, anything to save the environment." So they're shown at curbside, and this van comes up, and they drop off like 7 or 8 different bins. And the guy standing there with a microphone, he's like, "All right, so this is for paper goods. This is for paper goods that have had food touched to it. This is for, and they
on and on."
On and on and on and on and on. They're like, okay, now what we need to do is to find out whether or not this is actually something that's going to work. So we're going to do a little test. We're going to time and see how long it takes you. So and this is like a sample trash bag, and we want you to sort these recyclables. So they're standing there with an air horn, and these people are like, putting something in the correctly colored bins, right? Thanks, Danny. The correct colored bins. Mm-hmm. And, so this one goes in the right one, and they're hitting the air horn if they're not doing it fast enough. They're hitting the air horn if they put the things in the wrong bin, and they're yelling at them and hurry. So at the end, there's people who are standing there, and they're all sweaty, And they've just been going nuts trying to separate all this stuff out. And the question is, hey, well, do you think this is too obtrusive? Do you think that this would be something important? And every single one of the people that are like, oh yeah, no, this is really important. This would not take too much time for me. And it's so funny.
Penn Jillette is hilarious, by the way, and he gets real serious too. I don't know if you've heard him on a talk show or not. In fact, he's on Bob and Tom here occasionally, but full on libertarian. But here's my take. I've had this for a long time on recyclers, avid recyclers, and I'm not suggesting that recycling, on a large scale should not be done, but I'm talking about the people who religiously, put their stuff in. Here, it's a excuse me, same large on wheels trash can, heavy duty plastic, except they have yellow lids. But and this is a microcosm, really, of liberals in general. I mean, our friend of the show, questionable sexual orientation, Phyllis, hit the nail on the head the other day with this whole concept about raising awareness. Raising awareness in and of itself gets things done. So this is just another example in my mind. The liberal feel good about what I do thing, what I support. Liberals, by and large, who recycle religiously, I think do so just to make themselves feel good. And I think it's the same thing as it relates to, paper bags at the grocery store versus plastic. I hate plastic bags, and I don't get them either. And maybe, dude, I'm not a liberal, but we have those ones that you buy from the store for like $1 a piece, the cloth ones with the handles, and then that's what we use. But yeah, but by and large, liberals, I'm participating. I recycle religiously. I just, this is part of liberalism. That's me, and I'm sticking to it.
No, you're absolutely right. I remember years ago, I used to live in Irvine. And Irvine, on the cutting edge of social revolution, there's all the various different bins that you have to put the correct recyclables in. And I remember I was in a parking garage. It was kind of a high-rise apartment complex I was living in. And they had separate bins downstairs where you'd put in, the regular. There was like a trash chute for trash.
Right.
But then you were required to go down and put your green glass in this one, and your clear glass in this one, and your aluminum cans in this one. And I just thought, God, this is such a pain in the ass. And
dude, I put up a post last year, I think, about your not so golden state anymore. Somewhere there, it's not a statewide thing, but if you don't put the right stuff in the right bins, you can get fined, and there are actually a recycling police that go to apartment complexes and other places and check the bins. I don't know if they do forensic studies on who put wrong stuff in the wrong
DNA analysis, fingerprint.
We found your DNA on this bottle in the paper.
Right. Well, I had a buddy that was in the recycling business, and in California, the deposit financial recycling business it's a total scam. It's completely artificial, and I'll explain that later. Anyway, so I'm standing down there, and I watched the big trash truck come. Where all of these different bins are. And, I've seen some granola munching, hemp clad hippies down there carefully sorting. What's that?
I always like it when you work hemp into it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had made it a point to never, ever, ever separate my trash because it just bugged me. I was aware of the economics of it, and I just felt it was the ultimate symbolism over substance. And I watched the trash truck come up, and they took all of the various recycled bins and dumped it all in the exact same trash truck as the regular trash. So there was these bins for all of the separation and recycling, but the actual waste management company that was handling it just dumped it all in together and drove off.
And can you see that, however you just described, that liberal hemp wearing and whatever else, walking out and seeing that happen and the horror that would come over them, it would be like they just learned there was no Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, or Tooth Fairy all at the same time.
All at the same time. Yeah. Okay. So by the way, I put the Penn and Teller thing up, and I'll put that on the blog link.